Welcome to our channel, Rare Coins All World, coin enthusiasts and collectors. Today, we're going to discuss one of the most interesting and potentially valuable coins in the world of numismatics, the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be wondering, how could a coin with a simple face value of 1 cent be worth so much? Well, buckle up, because this penny might just surprise you. We'll explore its fascinating history, key features, and why this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth a small fortune. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history. Since its introduction in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it has been a staple in the U.S. coinage system. The penny has undergone several design changes over the years, but one thing has remained constant: it honors the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The 1980 Lincoln penny, in particular, stands out among its peers. Why, you ask? Well, to understand this, we need to take a brief look at the economic and political climate of 1980. It was a time of significant change in the United States. The country was going through a tough economic period, marked by high inflation, a struggling job market, and rising energy prices. Despite these challenges, 1980 was also a year of progress in the numismatic world, with several important coin designs being minted. The Lincoln penny of 1980 was produced during this transitional period in American history. The design of the 1980 penny is strikingly similar to earlier Lincoln pennies, but it also has some subtle features that collectors pay close attention to. On the obverse of the 1980 Lincoln penny, you will find the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner. His profile is surrounded by the inscription "Liberty" above, "In God We Trust" to the right, and the year 1980 at the bottom. These design elements have remained unchanged for decades, continuing to pay tribute to one of America's greatest leaders. On the reverse side of the 1980 penny, you'll find the classic design that features the Lincoln Memorial. This design, which has graced the back of the penny since 1959, depicts the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a tribute to Lincoln's enduring legacy. Surrounding the memorial are the words "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum," the national motto, meaning, out of many, one. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1980 Lincoln penny so special? Well, the value of coins like this doesn't always come down to their age or design, but rather their condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors. When it comes to the 1980 penny, most of the coins minted that year were produced in large quantities, meaning they circulated widely and are fairly easy to find. However, like many coins from this era, the condition in which they've been preserved plays a huge role in determining their value. A penny that's been circulated for decades is likely to show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, and even slight dents or chips. But, if you happen to come across a 1980 Lincoln penny that has been carefully preserved in uncirculated or near-mint condition, you could have a valuable piece on your hands. Uncirculated pennies have sharp details and a clean, shiny surface, which make them much more desirable to collectors. It's also worth mentioning that certain mint marks can make a 1980 penny more valuable. The 1980 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, coins minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those produced in Denver are marked with a D mint mark. San Francisco mint marks typically appear on proof coins. Some collectors are particularly interested in finding pennies from certain mints, as these coins tend to be rarer. Depending on the production numbers, beyond the mint marks and condition of the coin, there are also errors and variations to look out for. Mint errors occur when a coin is struck incorrectly during the production process, and these errors can make certain coins far more valuable. For example, double die errors, where the design is struck more than once, can make a coin look blurry or misaligned, and this can dramatically increase its value. Similarly, off-center coins or coins with misaligned dies are also in high demand among collectors. These errors can turn a standard 1980 penny into a rare and valuable piece of history. But let's talk numbers. How much is the 1980 Lincoln penny really worth? Most 1980 pennies, especially those in circulated condition, are worth just a few cents. But when a 1980 penny is found in pristine, uncirculated condition or has a rare mint error, its value can skyrocket. For a high-quality 1980 Lincoln penny in excellent condition, collectors might be willing to pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and demand. But here's where it gets even more interesting. If you manage to find a 1980 penny with a rare minting error or one in perfect, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin that's worth an astonishing $90,000. Yes, you heard that right, $90,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding this coin in your collection, pocket change, or perhaps even at a garage sale. It's a life-changing discovery, and it just goes to show how valuable and exciting the world of coin collecting can be. So, what should you do if you find a 1980 Lincoln penny? First and foremost, take the time to inspect it closely. Look for any signs of mint errors, especially double die strikes, off-center strikes, or other unique features that could increase its value. Next, check the condition of the coin. If it looks like it has been well preserved and is free of scratches, discoloration, or wear, you may have a real treasure on your hands. And, of course, keep in mind the importance of the mint mark and how it could impact the coin's value. Now, for those of you who are interested in collecting rare coins, remember that finding a 1980 Lincoln penny with this kind of value is no small feat. It requires a keen eye, patience, and sometimes a little bit of luck. But don't let that discourage you. The world of coin collecting is full of opportunities to discover valuable pieces. Whether you're just starting your collection or you've been collecting coins for years, the thrill of the hunt is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Today, we're going to explore a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but could be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for: the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be thinking, how could a simple penny from 1968 be worth so much? Well, stick around, because you're in for a real treat as we uncover the hidden value behind this classic American coin. The history of the Lincoln penny dates back to 1909, when it was first introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Ever since, this iconic coin has been a staple of U.S. currency. What makes the Lincoln penny so special isn't just its design but the fact that it has been in continuous circulation for over a century, making it one of the most recognized and beloved coins in American history. But today, we're focusing on the 1968 edition of the Lincoln penny, which, to the untrained eye, may seem like just another coin from the 1960s. However, when you take a closer look at its features, you might be surprised by just how valuable this coin could be. To start, let's take a look at the design of the 1968 Lincoln penny. The obverse of the coin features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's image is unmistakable, with his distinctive beard and profile facing to the right. Surrounding this image, you'll find the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty," to the left, and the year, 1968, at the bottom. This design has remained consistent for decades, paying tribute to one of the most important figures in American history. On the reverse side of the 1968 Lincoln penny, you'll see the classic image of the Lincoln Memorial. This design, introduced in 1959, shows the iconic structure that honors President Lincoln's legacy. At the top, you'll find the words "United States of America," and below the memorial, the inscription "E pluribus unum," which translates to "out of many, one." This phrase is a reflection of the nation's unity, which is an essential aspect of American identity. At first glance, the 1968 penny might seem like just another coin from the 60s, but its value lies in its condition, rarity, and the small details that set certain 1968 pennies apart from the rest. The 1968 Lincoln penny, like other coins from this era, was minted in large numbers. In fact, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced millions of these coins that year. So, why is a 1968 penny worth more than its face value? Well, that all comes down to a few key factors that make certain examples rare and desirable to collectors. First and foremost, the condition of the coin plays a major role in its value. Most pennies that were minted and circulated in 1968 have endured decades of wear and tear. As a result, many of these coins show signs of damage, including scratches, discoloration, and fading. A penny that has been stored in a coin collection or carefully preserved over the years will naturally be worth more than one that's been bouncing around in pockets or jarred up in loose change. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are always in demand, and they tend to fetch higher prices from collectors. But beyond the condition, what makes the 1968 Lincoln penny truly interesting are the rare minting errors that some of these coins may have. Minting errors happen when a coin is struck improperly during the manufacturing process. These errors can be quite subtle or dramatic, and they make the coin far more valuable to collectors. For instance, a 1968 penny with a double die error, where the design is struck multiple times, can be worth significantly more than a standard, properly struck coin. Other errors, such as off-center strikes or coins that were minted with a misaligned die, also add rarity to the coin and increase its value. When you think about the rarity and value of a 1968 Lincoln penny, it's essential to remember that there's more to a coin's worth than simply its age or minting year. Minting errors, specific characteristics, and exceptional preservation are all factors that contribute to a penny's ultimate value. Some lucky collectors have found 1968 pennies with such errors, and these coins are worth much more than their face value. Another interesting aspect of the 1968 Lincoln penny is its historical significance. The year 1968 was a turbulent time in the United States, marked by political unrest, the civil rights movement, and significant social changes. This context adds a layer of historical depth to the coin, making it even more appealing to collectors who appreciate both the numismatic and historical value of their collections. Now, let's get down to the $1 million, or rather, the $96,000 question. How much is a 1968 Lincoln penny worth? Well, it all comes down to a few crucial factors: condition, rarity, and whether or not the penny has any minting errors. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1968 penny could easily fetch a premium price from a collector who appreciates its historical and numismatic value. And if you happen to find a 1968 penny with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a coin that's worth a small fortune. The most valuable 1968 Lincoln pennies, especially those in perfect condition or with rare errors, have been known to sell for prices reaching up to $96,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $96,000 for a single penny. Imagine stumbling upon this rare treasure in your change jar, or perhaps finding it in a roll of pennies you pick up from the bank. It's the kind of discovery that could change your life and make you a fortune. So, how do you spot a valuable 1968 penny? Start by checking the condition. If it's in pristine, uncirculated condition with no signs of wear, you might have a winner on your hands. Next, keep an eye out for any minting errors. A double die or off-center strike can make a huge difference in the coin's value. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to consult a professional numismatist or a coin grading service to get an accurate appraisal of your find. Today's exciting episode, we're going to dive deep into a coin that might just be sitting in your collection, hidden away and waiting to reveal its value. Today, we're talking about the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1978. It's a coin that might seem common at first glance, but if you know what to look for, this penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The Lincoln penny has been an iconic piece of U.S. currency since its introduction in 1909, and over the years, it has seen a variety of designs and changes. Today, we're going to focus on the 1978 edition, a coin that may seem like just another penny in circulation, but with the right knowledge, it could be worth a small fortune. You might be asking, what makes this particular penny so valuable? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore in detail today, so make sure you stick around until the end. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1978 Lincoln penny, let's take a moment to appreciate its historical background. The Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American history and culture for over a century. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, with the image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Since its debut, the Lincoln penny has been a staple in American currency, circulating widely in the U.S. economy. In 1978, Like many years before, the coin was produced in large numbers, but it is the condition and rarity of these pennies that could significantly increase their value today. The 1978 Lincoln penny is made primarily of copper, which was the standard metal composition for pennies at the time. If you examine the coin closely, you'll notice the familiar design. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait faces left, with the words, "Liberty," inscribed above his head, and, "In God We Trust," to the left. The year 1978 is stamped below his bust. The reverse side of the penny features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which has been a part of the penny's design since 1959. The words, "United States of America," are engraved at the top, with "De Pluribus Unum" below the memorial, and the denomination, 1 cent, at the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, how can a simple penny from 1978 be worth more than just 1 cent? The truth is, most pennies from this year are worth exactly 1 cent, or just slightly more if they are in better condition. However, there are specific factors that can make a 1978 Lincoln penny much more valuable than its face value. The key to unlocking its true worth lies in the coin's condition, rarity, and potential minting errors. One of the biggest factors that determine the value of any coin is its condition. The general rule is, the better the condition, the higher the value. Most coins that have circulated for decades show wear and tear. They might have scratches, discoloration, or signs of being in pocket change. However, coins that have been carefully preserved and kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are far more valuable. These coins are often referred to as mint state coins, and they can be worth significantly more than their face value. If you have a 1978 Lincoln penny that is in excellent condition, meaning there are no scratches, nicks, or discoloration, it could be worth more than just a few cents. But it's not just the condition that affects the value of a 1978 penny. There are also some rare and highly sought-after minting errors that can significantly increase its value. These errors happen when the coins are struck incorrectly during the minting process. For example, a double die error occurs when the design is struck multiple times, resulting in a slightly distorted or doubled image. These types of errors can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable to collectors. If you happen to have a 1978 Lincoln penny with a double die error, it could be worth a lot more than a regular penny. Other types of minting errors include off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, creating a misaligned image. There are also coins that may have been struck with the wrong type of die, resulting in odd features or unusual markings. All of these minting errors can cause a 1978 Lincoln penny to be worth far more than its face value. In addition to the minting errors, the 1978 Lincoln penny also has some historical significance that adds to its value. The year 1978 was an interesting time in the United States, as it was a period of economic growth and political change. The country was experiencing the tail end of the post-Vietnam War era, and inflation was starting to rise, affecting the value of money. Coin collectors often look for pennies from specific years that were minted during important moments in U.S. history, and the 1978 penny fits into that category. So, what exactly can a 1978 Lincoln penny be worth? Well, if you happen to find one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, you could be in for a real treat. As we've mentioned, most pennies from this year are worth just 1 cent, or slightly more if they are well preserved. However, if you have a 1978 penny that is in mint condition or has a rare error, you could be looking at a coin that's worth far more. In fact, depending on the quality and rarity of the penny, the value of a 1978 Lincoln penny can reach impressive numbers. In some cases, well-preserved 1978 pennies with minting errors have been known to sell for as much as $86,000. Yes, you heard that right, $86,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding one of these rare gems in your collection or even in your pocket change. It's the kind of discovery that could change your life. Now, you may be wondering how to go about finding a valuable 1978 Lincoln penny. The first step is to thoroughly inspect any pennies you may have from this year. Look for those that are in excellent condition, with no visible signs of wear. Also, keep an eye out for any unusual features or minting errors. If you find a penny that you suspect might have a rare error, it's always a good idea to have it appraised by a professional numismatist or take it to a coin grading service for an official evaluation. As always, remember that the value of a coin depends on various factors, including its condition, rarity, and any minting errors. If you ever come across a 1978 Lincoln penny that you think might be worth more than just a penny, don't hesitate to seek out expert advice to ensure you're getting the true value of your find. Today's video, we are going to explore one particular coin that may just be hiding in your collection, or even in your spare change, the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it may seem like just another ordinary penny. But trust me when I say that this coin might be far more valuable than you could ever imagine. For many, pennies are considered some of the most commonly circulated coins in the United States. They're often overlooked, passed from hand to hand without much thought. But, as you'll soon discover, some pennies, like the 1973 Lincoln penny, can be incredibly valuable, and we are going to break down exactly why this particular year's penny is so sought after by coin collectors. The Lincoln penny is one of the longest-serving coins in American currency history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it has become a cornerstone of U.S. coinage. The coin's design, featuring the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, has remained largely unchanged since the mid-20th century, and it continues to be a favorite of collectors. But why does the 1973 version stand out among all other years of Lincoln pennies? While the 1973 penny may appear relatively unremarkable to someone who isn't familiar with coin collecting, there are key factors that make it particularly interesting and valuable. First, let's start with the basics. The 1973 Lincoln penny was produced at a time when the United States was still using the traditional copper composition. The penny was struck with 95% copper and 5% zinc, which is a noticeable difference compared to the current penny composition, which includes a higher percentage of zinc. The copper used in coins from the 1970s gives them a distinctive color and weight, which collectors find particularly appealing. So, if you happen to have a 1973 penny that hasn't been subjected to excessive wear or tarnish, it could be quite attractive to those who collect for both aesthetic and historical reasons. Next, let's consider the year itself. The 1970s were a significant time in U.S. history. The country was dealing with the aftermath of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and rising inflation. It was also a time of political and social change. The U.S. economy was facing difficulties, and these challenges were reflected in the value of the currency. Coin collectors often seek out coins from particular years due to their historical context, which makes the 1973 penny more than just a piece of metal. It's a snapshot of a specific moment in American history. When we talk about coin value, the condition of the coin is absolutely essential. Most pennies from 1973 have circulated for decades, and as a result, they are often worn down, scratched, or discolored from constant use. The vast majority of 1973 Lincoln pennies are in fair or good condition, with only a few remaining in excellent or mint condition. Coins that are well preserved, especially those that have been stored in protective cases or kept away from harsh conditions, are extremely rare and highly desirable. Coins in mint or near mint condition are particularly sought after. When you hold a coin that is uncirculated, meaning it has never been in circulation, you are looking at a coin that is as close to perfect as possible. These coins retain their original sharpness and clarity, with the design still crisp and clear, making them much more valuable. If you have a 1973 Lincoln penny in mint condition, you could be looking at a much higher value than face value. However, finding an uncirculated penny from this year is incredibly rare. Most of the 1973 pennies that have been handled over the years show signs of wear, such as slight scratches, discoloration, and dings. That's why a well-preserved 1973 penny could fetch a significant price from collectors, but condition isn't the only factor that influences the value of a 1973 Lincoln penny. Some collectors are on the lookout for rare and unique varieties of coins. These might include coins with unusual minting errors, such as double die errors, off-center strikes, or other flaws that occurred during the manufacturing process. These types of errors are what can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. For example, a double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or doubles in its design. This results in a coin that has a doubling effect on the lettering or design, making it highly collectible. Coins with these errors are often worth far more than a regular penny, sometimes by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Additionally, certain mint marks and special features can increase the rarity and value of a 1973 penny. The 1973 penny was produced at multiple mints, including the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which did use the D mint mark. The mint mark can make a huge difference in value, with coins from certain mints being more desirable depending on the number of coins produced that year. So, how much could a 1973 Lincoln penny be worth? If you have a 1973 penny that's in uncirculated or mint condition, especially if it features an error or a rare mint mark, you could be looking at a coin worth much more than 1 cent. While most 1973 pennies are worth only their face value or just a little more in excellent condition, rare varieties and well-preserved specimens can fetch a much higher price. Some collectors have been willing to pay up to $82,000 for a 1973 Lincoln penny in excellent, near-perfect condition, especially one with a rare minting error or unique feature. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny from 1973 could be worth $82,000. That's a substantial amount of money for what many people still consider just a humble coin. It's the kind of discovery that could truly surprise and reward those who take the time to carefully examine their coin collections. If you think you might have a valuable 1973 Lincoln penny hiding in your collection, the next step is to carefully inspect it. Look for any signs of wear, minting errors, or unique features. If you find something that looks unusual or if you think your penny might be in mint condition, it's a good idea to get it appraised by a professional numismatist or to have it graded by a reputable coin grading service. In the world of coin collecting, even a single penny can turn into a treasure if it meets the right criteria. Keep in mind that the value of a coin is based on several factors, including its rarity, condition, and any errors or unique features it may possess. With some careful examination and a bit of luck, your 1973 Lincoln penny could end up being worth far more than you ever thought possible. Today, we're diving into the world of U.S. coins, specifically the highly intriguing and valuable 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, you might be thinking, a penny? Isn't that just 1 cent? Well, let me tell you, this seemingly small and ordinary coin could potentially be worth much more than you imagine. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at the story of how this little penny could be worth a staggering amount of money. For many of us, pennies are an afterthought. They're something we find in our pockets, wallets, or on the sidewalk, and we often toss them into a jar or throw them away without a second thought. However, in the world of numismatics, or coin collecting, some pennies have become treasured gems. Today, we're focusing on the 1981 Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem like just another 1-cent piece, but in reality, it holds some very unique qualities that make it exceptionally valuable to collectors. Now, before we get into the value of the 1981 Lincoln penny, let's take a step back and appreciate the history of this iconic coin. The Lincoln penny has been a part of U.S. currency for over 100 years, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, which has remained unchanged since then, symbolizing both the nation's respect for its 16th president and its commitment to honoring the legacy of Lincoln's leadership. The reverse side of the coin originally displayed the wheat ears, but since 1959, it's showcased the Lincoln Memorial, which serves as a tribute to the historical figure's lasting impact on the United States. This shift in design made the penny not only a piece of currency but also an important symbol of American history and patriotism. Throughout its long existence, the penny has seen various changes in its composition and design, but it continues to be a widely circulated and beloved coin. So, what makes the 1981 Lincoln penny so special? To understand this, we need to look at the coin's history and the circumstances surrounding its production. The 1981 penny was produced during an interesting period in U.S. history, a time when the country was coming out of the economic difficulties of the 1970s, including high inflation rates and oil crises. In 1981, President Ronald Reagan was in office, and the country was entering a new era of economic recovery. As for the penny itself, it was struck primarily from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, just like many of its predecessors in the 1970s. However, a significant change was coming in the near future. In 1982, the U.S. Mint would transition the penny to a predominantly zinc-based composition due to the rising costs of copper. This made the 1981 Lincoln penny one of the last to be struck in this traditional copper format, which adds to its appeal to collectors who focus on coins with specific metal compositions. While this copper composition is one of the key characteristics of the 1981 penny, it's not the only factor that makes this coin valuable. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. Over the years, many 1981 pennies have been subjected to wear and tear due to regular circulation. However, what makes a coin truly valuable is its state of preservation. Coins that remain in pristine condition, free of scratches, discoloration, and other forms of damage, are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated, uncirculated 1981 Lincoln pennies, which are coins that have never been used in regular transactions, are highly sought after by collectors. These coins have retained their original sharpness, crisp design details, and vibrant color, making them extremely desirable. The rarity of such coins, in mint or near mint condition, makes them stand out in the world of coin collecting. And, because so few 1981 pennies have been preserved in uncirculated condition, their value has risen significantly over time. But condition is only part of the equation. A 1981 penny with certain minting errors can be worth even more. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, and this can result in coins with unique characteristics that make them stand out from the rest. For example, if a penny is struck off-center or with a misaligned die, it may feature design elements that appear distorted or doubled. These types of errors make the coin much more valuable to collectors who specialize in these rarities. The 1981 Lincoln penny has been known to have a variety of minting errors, which can make it highly valuable. Some of these errors include the well-known doubled die varieties, where the image of Abraham Lincoln or the lettering on the coin is doubled, creating a very distinctive appearance. These types of errors are rare, and finding one on a 1981 penny is a lucky discovery for any collector. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is a 1981 Lincoln penny worth? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. While most 1981 pennies are worth only their face value, a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition could fetch much more. And if you happen to come across a 1981 penny with a rare minting error, the value can skyrocket even higher. Some of these rarer coins have been known to sell for prices that are well beyond what most people would expect. In fact, if you have a 1981 Lincoln penny that is in mint condition or features a rare error, it could be worth as much as $89,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $89,000 for a single penny. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that many people would just toss in their pocket or disregard as insignificant. It just goes to show how much value can be hidden in seemingly ordinary objects. If you're wondering whether you have a valuable 1981 Lincoln penny in your collection or change jar, here are a few tips to help you assess its value. First, check the condition of the coin. Is it in good shape with no major scratches or signs of heavy wear? Does the design look sharp, and is the color still vibrant? If so, you might have an uncirculated coin on your hands. Next, look for any potential minting errors. Examine the design closely to see if there are any doubled letters or off-center strikes. If you notice any of these features, you could be holding a coin worth far more than 1 cent. If you do find a 1981 Lincoln penny that you think may be valuable, the next step is to get it appraised or graded by a professional. Numismatists and coin graders are experts in determining the value of coins based on their condition, rarity, and any unique features they may have. They can provide you with an accurate estimate of what your coin is worth and whether it's a good candidate for sale or further preservation. In conclusion, the 1981 Lincoln penny is far more than just a piece of currency. It's a valuable collector's item that could potentially be worth $89,000 if you happen to have one in exceptional condition or with a rare minting error. So, the next time you come across a penny from 1981, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, and you might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Happy collecting, everyone!